Right, in this video, I'm going to show you how I play golf. I'm going to play about 5 or 6 holes, we'll see how it goes, and just talk through every single shot that I hit. Like, what is going on in here? How do I feel over the shot? How am I going to play it? And then hopefully try and play some good golf. You'll notice I've also got 2 putters in the bag at the moment. An old school Odyssey 2 ball, like 20 years old, and a new one of these PLD putters. I'm going to give them a little bash as well. So first hole, down here at Marriott Worsley Park. It's playing 409 yards. There's plenty of room on the left-hand side. Now, my top tip is if there's trouble, for example on this hole where it's down the right-hand side, try and tee up on the right-hand side of the tee, because then you can kind of play away from the danger as opposed to playing it towards the danger. Right, left side of the fairway would be a good finish. Try and pick my spot. I try and visualise my ball flight. There's not much wind, so I don't think that's going to affect it. And that is a little rocket. Welcome to how I play golf. Now it's quite early on in the season. I've not played loads of golf yet this season. So this is kind of a little, I don't know, almost like a pre-season get ready for a bit more golf. So join me, let's go and play a few holes and hopefully I can play some decent golf. Okay, you know what's really nice now? We're in the middle of March. The sun's starting to come out a little bit more regularly here in the UK. Golf courses are drying up, they're getting in better condition. Doesn't have to give you the taste of golf back. That gives you that golf bug back when you see the ball bounding and bouncing on the fairway as opposed to kind of sinking in the wet ground conditions. And this opening tee shot, I'm not going to lie to you, was an absolute cracker. Split the fairway. Couldn't have placed the ball in a better position. Okay, second shot into this par 4. It's playing 149 yards. Tiny bit of wind, just ever so slightly down, only slightly. It's quite a big green this, and the pin's just left hand side of the green. So I think with that wind, I'm actually just going to go straight at the pin, and if the wind drifts it back into the middle of the green, happy days. If not, the wind should hold it and stay in line with the flag. Again, similar to my tee shot, what I'm trying to do here is really visualise the shot, picture how I want it to fly through the air, whether I want any shape on it, just really have a vivid image in my brain of what I want to try and hit. And I hope from there, try and execute that shot. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Ricky Shiels has come to play. I did everything I wanted to do, it stayed on the flag. I think without the wind, it might have just drawn left of the flag, but kind of the wind combated the draw. And we've got a nice little birdie, opening birdie putt. Not sure which putter I'm going to use just yet, but I'll repair my pitch, repair my divot, and we'll get down there. You know what? That had a lot of backspin on it. Consider it was a 9-iron, slightly downwind. I kind of expected it to pitch and maybe just hop a few feet ahead, but it's not. It's actually spun back about 10 or so feet. Okay, birdie putt. Now you'll see at the moment, I've got this rascal back in the bag. This is an original, and I mean original, from the year 2000, Odyssey 2 ball, white hot. The reason being, quite a few weeks ago now, back in the last year, I had a putting lesson with Phil Kenyon, who's one of the best putting coaches in the world. And we discovered that lining the line up of the ball, I'm pretty good at, where I wanted to aim, but lining the line of the putter up with the line on the ball, I was useless. So because this hasn't got an actual line on it, it's just got the 2 balls on it, hopefully that's easier to line up. Time will tell. The other thing I've changed at the moment, whenever I practice, let's say I'm on the practice putting green, I'll often hold it left hand at the top, right hand underneath, almost conventional. And I honestly put better. like that. I roll the ball better. But over the years, I've either used cack-handed because of confidence issues. That feels like I don't bend my wrist as much when I'm out on the golf course with pressure. Or you may have seen me go to a claw grip when I get really nervous. However, I am trying my best to actually put with a conventional grip again. The other thing you'll see is I've still been doing a little bit of Aimpoint. If you don't know what Aimpoint is, you'll see a lot of the big stars using it out on tour now. And it's a way of reading your greens, but not using your visual aspects, actually using more your feel. So when I'm straddling the line of the putt here, my left foot is ever so slightly higher than my right foot, ever so slightly, by about maybe 1 degree, or 1% should I say, not degree. With that in mind, I'll aim one finger to the left-hand side of the hole, and that's where you'll see a lot of tour players, famously like golfers like, I think Tommy Fleetwood used it, or Adam Scott used it, and they'll kind of use the fingers, and you'll see them either using 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 1 finger, to try and work out the slope. Right, enough talking. Conventional grip, left-hand side of the hole, slightly up the hill. It's got a low chance of success rate to go in the hole here. If it drops, happy days, but if not, I just want it nestling nice and close to the hole. Oh, you know what? I think the only thing that stopped that from turning more was a bit of speed. I think I just hit it a touch too firm. Not the putt that I wanted to leave myself on the first. I'm not going to lie to everybody. You never want a knee knocker on the first hole. Give it a quick read. It's pretty flat from here. So this is dead centre, middle of the hole. Four it is, and we'll move on to the next. Realistically, you'll always take a par on the first. Just sometimes you just want to get the first hole out of the way. Make sure you're not blown up. Even if you do blow up, I think the first hole is the hole to do it on, because it means then you've got 17 holes to recover. By the way, that head cover, believe it or not, is not as old as the putter, but how battered is that? I mean, an old casino, Vegas inspired head cover, which I actually think I bought in Vegas actually. So that would have been about 2010 I went to Vegas the first time. Second hole, 360 yards, runs parallel to the first here at the Marriott. There's a couple of bunkers that really, I shouldn't be too worried about that down the right hand side. Driver again, just going to tee it up a tiny bit on this right hand side. Left is your friend. So I'm going to favour that kind of left side of the fairway, and if I pull it a touch, it's not the end of the world. Pick my line, pick my target. That's really important. I definitely recommend it for any level of golfer. Try and have a clear vision of what the shot you want to play. It really does help boost confidence. I'm not saying you're going to play it every time, but having that clear image definitely does help. Left side of the fairway, give it a nice hit with driver. It's gone a bit too far left there. No dangers down there though. That's the miss. Not my greatest golf shot, but it's in no problems at all there. Okay, so we found it just in the left rough, perfectly safe. Pin's back right. Kind of that wind's really picked up now, and it's right back into the wind actually. It's playing 134 yards. I think a little bit of wind, it's probably a 1 club wind, so I'd probably hit a pitching wedge from 134. So I'm going to hit a 9 iron. I don't think I need to absolutely kill it. I just ideally need to finish it on that top plateau. With it coming out the rough, it's not going to spin as much. That to some degree might actually help cut through the wind a fraction. But again, I'm just going to pick my point. I can't miss long. That's the one place I just can't miss. So if it's a bit short, it's not the end of the world. So again, I'm just going to control one in there. Nice little 9 iron. Oh, I've pushed it. Aye. That's bunker bound. just a bit in between clubs there, and in the end, end up taking too much off it, and as a result, I kind of just didn't quite commit to the line. I don't think, in hindsight, that wind is strong. I don't think I needed to take anything off it. I think I could have hit it a lot more full than that. Little bit of an error, but let's try and get up and down from the bunker. Right, this is the moment where I kind of wish I was left-handed. The ball's actually not gone in the bunker, it's finished on the bank here. And it's going to give me a very, very awkward stance. I'm going to have to kind of go here, or possibly even inside the bunker. It's a good little way of kind of a chance to show you how to play this shot. Ideally, you just want to try and adjust your club as much as possible to the slope. But obviously, if I held the club fully here, like as in full length, I just can't get anywhere near striking it. This is where you've got to sometimes be a bit more creative. I'm literally gripping it right down on the shaft so that I can actually just play a fairly normal shot. Because my feet are so much lower, I'm holding the club lower, it feels almost quite normal again. Tricky shot this though, not where I wanted to be. Everything over this bank's running down towards the flag. It's not in the greatest lie in the world either. So this would be a pretty special up and down, but damage limitation. I just want to give myself a putt after this shot. Make sure I still turn my body through. I might just go foot up there just for a bit of stability. That feels better. Okay, just over that little bank. Not gonna lie to you, one of the best shots I've ever hit in my life. If I'm being humble, that was pretty bloody good. Give that a quick rake and try and knock that one in for par. So I've got this for par now after that kind of slight error on the second shot. Give it a quick read. There's next to nothing in that. That's actually a really straight putt, but just slightly back up the hill. I'm just going to pick my line. Couple of practice putts just next to the hole, next to the ball, sorry. Really trying to visualise the ball coming off the face, staying on line and going in. I think I can be confident on this one and firm up the hill. It looks super straight. Come on, for an incredible par. I can only guess I pulled that because honestly that was such a straight putt. Okay, in for bogey. The second shot let me down there, silly little mistake. But one you've got to live with. On to next, which actually the hardest hole in the golf course. Third hole, unbelievable hole here at the Marriott. Hardest hole in the golf course. Kind of dog legs to the left hand side. A good tee shot is killer. Really important to put into play. Luckily today it's slightly downwind. Playing 434 yards. There's a bunker there down the left hand side which is about 260 to carry. So I should carry that on a good shot. So I'm actually going to aim right over that bunker. If I leak it right, it's not the end of the world, it's actually in the fairway. If I go left, it's not ideal, it's in the rough, but it actually makes the hole a lot shorter. Okay, one over at the moment. I'm not going to try and force anything on this hole. There's no point in compounding errors, but a good tee shot. Pick my line, visualise my shot. I've hit my driver well so far, so straight over that bunker. It's gone a little bit right, but actually that could be perfect. Yeah, just right rough. Hit it really well. It came out like a bullet, but just ever so slightly pushed it. Didn't quite draw, kind of hoping for a little bit more draw on it, but we're fine there. So we found it in the slightly thicker stuff up the right hand side of this hole. Not ideal, to be honest with you. I know it's kind of quite a small fairway, but at least not in the trees. It's just not ideal. It's sat horribly as well. It really has sat down in a little kind of indentation. Middle of the green is 165. It's playing slightly uphill but downwind, so I think that's probably going to neutralise itself out. I think it's only playing about 160. Off that lie, I mean, I could potentially muscle a 9-iron there, but I feel like it might be quite unpredictable, so I'm going to go for an 8-iron. I still think I've got to hit it well, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grip down a fraction on this club, hold on a touch tighter. The reason gripping down, I just want to take a little bit of distance off this club, I feel. Gripping tighter gets through the rough a little bit better. And I don't like to say hit and hope, but it is kind of one of those. I don't feel like I'm going to be super confident in how this ball's going to actually come out of this lie. I've just got to make good connection, hold on tight, and just fingers crossed I can get it up on the green, if not close by. Just make sure, club right into the back of the ball. Let's come out well. Get a good kick. Get a good kick. It's had a sensational kick. I don't want to read too much into that, but that actually looks like it's good. Just have a very quick look at this, just an idea. That is where I've hit from. And you can kind of see the pretty large divot there. Don't be scared out of the rough of hitting down and taking a more of a divot. You've got to get that club getting down into the ball. From my understanding, that landed short of the green. Luckily it's dried up. I believe it's just crept over the little hump at the front. That is honestly, from that lie, in that situation, that's done incredibly well. So it landed about here, jumped up over this little hill, and we're left with a 15, 16 footer for birdie on stroke index number 1. Okay, quick read of this. Slightly up the hill. So one thing you want to try and establish early days, is it uphill or downhill putt? So that's obviously going to factor the speed of your putt. So it's ever so slightly uphill. It's on a 2% slope. So it's actually going to swing quite a bit from left to right. I think the other thing as well to think about here, obviously I've just made bogey on the last. And I mentioned on the tee that I don't want to press and force any more errors, but I've done the hard work. Like this is a legitimate chance of birdie here. The one thing I don't want to do is obviously fire it past. So I'm going to play it dead weight, fingers crossed it drops because that will get me back to level. But if not, nestle it in nice and close to the hole. Bada bing, bada boom. Didn't expect birdie there, but I'll take it every single day. Back to level. That's how you bloody play golf. That was nice. I want to tell you a little story on this hole. I used to love this hole. Like this little par 3, the 4th hole here at the Marriott, I used to love. Huge green. And when you start loving a hole, like I almost couldn't see past making par, if not birdie, if not holding it. More recently, I've got to be honest, I've not played this hole very well. And I'm sure many of you out there have got those kind of holes where you don't feel like you've played it very well. So, I'm going to tell you how to manage it. I think first off is every time you play this hole, it's different, like different tees, different pin positions. And still go through that process of picking your line, picking the perfect shot. And it only takes a couple of good times when you play it that confidence starts boosting and you start doing well on it. So, hopefully I can demonstrate that. It's 165 yards to the flag. The flag is back left, which is a big favourite pin of mine here, on any green to be honest. The wind's kind of into and off the side here, not directly behind, let me show you. So kind of the pin's down directly here, the wind's kind of coming in from, if the flag's 12 o'clock, the wind's coming in from like a 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock location. So it's helping if anything. I think it's 7-iron. Shorter of the pin is my friend. Long is not good on this hole because it really short sides me. Yeah, so I'm gonna go middle of the green. Wind is hopefully helping bring it back towards the flag, but it's still definitely into. Just flight it a little bit lower. If that's the club, we're in the money. I've always said I love this hole, like always. Have a look how close that is. Like he's literally landed at a couple of foot short and stopped dead. One big hop and we could have been notching number 1 down on the scorecard. Look at that little naughty shot. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's about 1, 2, 3.5 feet away. It landed there. It obviously jumped and kind of spun back. A big hop. Could have been very nice. I was actually going to try that ping putter on this hole, but I don't think I will. I'll stick with this one for a minute more. Considering I just hold that nice little snake on the last 2. Repair the pitch mark. Give it a quick clean. Give it a quick read. Not letting that, just right edge, slightly up the hill. Indentation there, right, come on. For back-to-back birdies, to go 1 under par. Very good, very nice. Right, 1 under, back-to-back birds. They come far and few between, so got to celebrate them when they happen. And next hole's actually a par 5 downwind. Oh, life's good. Doesn't always go like this, by the way, as I'm sure you many golfers know. And certainly if you've watched my channel before, you know it doesn't always go like this. And you might see some of those bad rounds coming up in some Break 75 episodes coming soon, but hopefully we can try and get a bit more good golf this year. That's the plan. 5th hole, par 5, 529 yards. Not a lot to kind of think about here, if I'm honest with you. It's just pick a good line and hit driver. It kind of all funnels into an entrance as you go down here, and it's a very, very slight dogleg to the right after that. So if anything, maybe right side of centre, but if I can hit a bit of a rocket down here, there's half a chance of getting on in 2 shots. Now, I think what's important here as well, like right now, I'd say I've got a decent score going after those 2 birdies. It's not getting too far ahead of yourself. It's not thinking about, oh, I could be on for a great round here. I could be on for, my best ever score. Do your best to try and stay in the present. Like, try and make sure that you take every shot still as an individual shot. Don't get too far ahead. Don't be writing your winning speech before you've crossed the finish line. Right, straight down the middle. I can picture it, I can see it, and I can absolutely hit it. I think if it's long enough, it's bloody perfect. It was the tiger line. I cut off some of the corner and went tight. But if it's carried it, we should be in position A1. You know what, that's actually really unlucky. I finished just short of the path. I've hit a great drive, but it must have taken a really soft first bounce, because if you can get it in the summer and it's bounding, and who knows, I could have even got a lucky kick off that path. It could have been another 20, 30 yards down the fairway, but it's not. I can still go for the green. It's 250 yards from here. Sat up quite nicely. Slightly downwind off the left. I think it's just a nice 3-wood. Just got to clear those trees. For me here, it's more trying to work out kind of the risk versus reward. Do I lay up? And obviously I can punt it down there with like an 8-iron or a 9-iron and then wedge it on. Or do I go for a more ambitious shot when I'm trying to get on the green? I think the big factors are, have you got anything to get it over? So if there's a massive lake in front of the green here, I probably wouldn't go for it, because it'd just not be the right shot to play. But I've got these trees to cover, but they're not very tall. I can easily cover those trees. And then after that, there's nothing down there. It's pretty much empty. There's a couple of bunkers which I hope to avoid, but even if I go in them, it's not the end of the world. Just got to pick a line, a nice confident line. Wind's ever so slightly down and off the left, so I'm going to just factor that in a smidgen. I'm going to aim down the left side of the hole. I said I wanted to lay up. That was the plan all along. I can't believe I've just done that. I completely topped it. Like completely and utterly topped it. It's ran and ran and ran and ran and ran, and actually put me in a perfect layup position. Kind of can't believe I've just done that, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Golf, eh? Can't always hit great shots. It's how you come back after the bad ones which is important. I need to not let it affect me, and I need to make sure I can still got an opportunity to get up and down. I have. Just got to make it hopefully, make it work from there. Okay, so this is where my top ended up. Not actually terrible. 120 yards away from the flag. Slightly down breeze. So 120 yards would normally be, for me, just a normal gap wedge, a 50-degree gap wedge. So with it being downwind, I'm just going to play kind of a feely one in there, kind of like a 3/4, just past 3/4 one. Pick a good line. Ideally, I want to leave it slightly short of the hole because everything past definitely starts to elevate a lot more. Come on, let's try and finish off with one more birdie, Rick. That's like a 20-yard slice with a gap wedge. Oh, Rick, that was terrible. I felt good over that as well. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not totally sure how to diagnose that shot, and I think mid-round it's not something I'm going to do because it'll just only get in my head. Just put it down as a bad swing, a bad strike, whatever it may be. Try and get up and down from where it is. Making a hash of this, aren't I, after that good tee shot. Right, well that was pretty shocking. Nothing more can be said. So now I'm faced a little tricky little number here. I've got quite a lot of ground to cover before I've got to get on the green. So I'm going on my 60-degree lob wedge. So we need height here. Land it just on the fringe. Or maybe even just on the green and let it roll down. That's it. Oh, just ran on a bit. Probably missed my landing spot by about the same distance as the ball's rolled past the hole. This is what happens when you go under par. Go under par and suddenly, shouldn't do though, should it? It's not what should happen. Right, still got this for par. Guys, if you've enjoyed this style of video, make sure you hit like, leave a comment down below. What have you picked up from in this video? What's something that you'll look to implement in your own game? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Mentioned previously in another video, Break 75 is coming back. Loads more golf this year. Okay, left to right, down the hill, tiny little swinger. Ouch. Ouch. I hit a good putt there as well. Oh, never mind. Level par. Through 5. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And that's how I play golf. At least some of the time. We'll see you again.